Hello, welcome to my live stream. Hello, welcome to my live stream. Get this thing started off. Tonight I got a kick-ass show for you tonight. You make sure I'm live streaming it on air and everything. Hello, welcome to my live stream. Yep, I'm on there. Just checking. But yeah, welcome. Tonight I'm gonna be rebroadcasting a kick-ass podcast that I listen to called Sex Talk Sunday. It's one of the shows on the Mac Attack show. You can check out his shows on Spreaker.com. Later on in the stream, I'll put a link to his podcast in the chat in the live chat. But his show starts at 9, and I wanted to start the stream a little early, that way I can put in some commentary to let people know what's going on in this live stream. Sorry about that. I got a warning from YouTube. Check my resolution. It's fine. But hope you guys are having a good time tonight. Sitting here having a few beers, waiting for the podcast to start. So yeah, just if you don't want to listen to it here, go over to www.spreaker.com, and in the search type in the Mac Attack show, and you should be able to listen to it live over there. And be sure to check out his Facebook page. Just go to Facebook, type in the Mac Attack show, click search, and you'll be able to find his fan page. And whenever he goes live, there's a notification that goes out to that page that lets you know that he's live. It's 9:58 right now, and I'm just waiting for his show to begin. I didn't have any dialogue planned for this. I'm just live streaming it. It's 9:58 right now, and hope you guys can hear me okay on the microphone. I got this, it's pretty much a studio mic, and sitting about 5 feet away from me. I figured it'd work a little better than my headphone microphone. And be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell to get notifications. Whenever you click the bell, click all. That way you get all notifications whenever I drop a video. I do tech tips on this channel. I sometimes do podcasts like this. Just caveat, whenever I go to live stream a show, I'm gonna have to mute the intro and outro because it's a song by Genuine Pony that is copyright, and I don't want to get busted by the copyright police on YouTube and get a 90-day suspension from live streaming. So hope you guys understand. The copyright police on YouTube is fully in effect. Let me hop on over, see if he's live yet. Yes, he's live. Let me get this going. I'm going to mute the audio for a bit, and I'll get right back to it.
God, we are back, and we are better than ever, and it is good to be back, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Mac Attack Show, and welcome back to Sex Talk Sunday, the show that made the show. I'm Dino Mac, and we've got some new faces on the panel for you. Maybe some you know, some you won't. So, without further ado, the other male on the podcast, let's just put him out here right now. You know him from Guy Talk. You know him from the Mac Attack Show. You know him a little bit from Sex Talk Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Hillbilly Hefner. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? I am butt-ass naked, and I am ready to get this on.
Another familiar face you may know, without a shadow of a doubt. One of the most popular on the Mac Attack Show here. It is Sexual Sarah. What's going on, Sarah?
What's up, guys?
And adding to the panel, brand new, just got a brand new contract, and T-shirt, may I add. I think it's a really good idea to have her on this panel. Ladies and gentlemen, the mistress, Barbie. What's going on?
Hey, guys. I like that, the mistress.
Yep. So do I.
This is mine.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm the mistress that's already spoken for, but...
yeah, it's mine. Right. It's mine. But
we can still fantasize.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Sex Talk Sunday going to be a little bit different, of course. Going to take a different approach of it. I mean, we're still going to have our laughs and giggles, but I'm just going to put it out here. Let's try to refrain from us. It's not our Sex Talk Sunday, it's Sex Talk Sunday. So let's try to do that. If you want to talk about your own experiences, fine. If you don't want to talk about your experiences, that's not what we're technically here for, but if you can relate, then so be it. So, yeah, so we got a lot of good topics for you guys to talk about. Glad that Sex Talk Sunday is back. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody wanted it to come back, so I decided to go ahead, why not bring it back. And we're going to be talking about just a few topics. Maybe not as many topics as we used to talk about. We will probably review topics that we've already talked about in previous Sex Talk Sundays. So if you haven't heard the first, say, 60, you missed out because they've been all deleted. But don't worry. For one low price, you can get all episodes of Sex Talk Sunday. Just let us know about that. So
And act now, and I'll throw in a blowjob.
Oh,
okay.
How do I order? That's the number I call.
You just go to the Magatech Shows page.
I'm fucking
Just
standing.
inboxes.
I'm doing it right now.
Tell us what you want. You know what I mean? Just inbox us.
Blowjob.
Anyways, one of the topics I was going to talk about, since we're returning, we're bringing Sex Talk Sunday back. I thought it would be only fitting to bring back maybe a topic that we've talked about in the past, and one of those topics is something that people struggle with a lot, and that's libido. That's the sex drive. That's a lot of people has a lot of people deal with the loss of it, and I thought it would be fitting that you guys. I want to hear your opinions on it, because as far as I'm concerned, if the listeners are chiming in and everybody's tuning in right about now, we're talking about libido and the loss of sex drive, and sometimes it can be really hard. And one of the things I think is, if you want to try to get that back, is I really do think that you should relieve a lot of your stress that you have in your life. Now, stress can be anything, whether it's getting the oil changed in your car, to paying the bills, to having enough money to pay the bills. Where's the finances going to come from your marriage or your relationship with your partner? And sometimes work and bills and stuff, that is a huge stressor in a person's life. And when you're stressed out about how you're going to pay the rent, and you only got $7 in your pocket, man, I mean, sometimes people don't want to have sex when they're stressing about that type of stuff. They just don't. So you lose that sex drive, you lose that libido. Maybe not forever, but if you're constantly worrying about it, yeah, you can go a dry spell, 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe a month and a half. Since she's new, she's got a comment. Rules of Fight Club. The mistress over here, Barbie. What's your opinion? What do you got on ways, in your opinion, do you think that people can get it back, especially in a woman's aspect, but not only get it back, but what is one of the stressors that you think that prevents sex drive?
Well, honestly, there, besides just like the stressors that you were talking about, there's issues such as endometriosis or things like that, things that are health issues that you may want to have sex, 24/7, but it hurts. To try to get it back, I mean, I don't know. I've dealt with health issues before, so that's why I brought that up. And I am a very sexual person, so I did everything I could, went to every doctor I could to get that taken care of. And I feel like sometimes people don't even realize what it is. So I think really looking at what's going on around you and what stressors and triggers, like you were talking about, is the best way to do it, because sometimes people don't even realize that it's happening,
Yeah, that's really good. What about you, Sarah?
I'm just thinking, what
the hell was that?
Sorry. I think a good stretch. Okay. Yeah, I think it totally depends on what the reason is. Because stress is just one. That's just like one little tiny thing that could be causing it. Barbie mentioned health issues and all sorts of stuff. And I would mention like who your partner is and making sure that you're with someone that you're rocking the good chemistry with, because life is too short, you know, like it couldn't just be you. Like maybe you're just not turned on. Maybe you just don't want to do your boyfriend or your girlfriend, you know, like, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just one other thing that could be causing it is lack of chemistry in your relationship, you know?
Chemistry, health, and stressors. Daryl Hilton's on the chat boards, and Jo says, "What's up, y'all? What's going on, Jay?" Hillbilly, it goes to you now, buddy. It goes to you. What's a cause of low sex drive, and how do you think you'd go get it back? So far, chemistry, health, and stress. What you got, big guy?
Libido, Knievel. I'll tell you right now, I ain't never, ever lost my sex drive. So I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I can keep going and going, or if you put my battery in backwards, I can keep coming and coming. Never have lost my sex drive, but I have had to deal with it with my partner before. And, you know, obviously you got the stress, you've got the medical conditions, and I think there's other things out there like self-esteem, I think is a big one. If you don't,
I feel like we're on Family Feud, guys. Like,
on Family Feud.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not.
Oh, it's self-esteem. You got a woman that has, let's say you went through the holidays and you had one too many fucking Buckeyes or, you know, crack candy, and you gained a little weight. Okay, your man probably doesn't really care, but you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, God, I'm a toad. So what normally happens, I'm just being real. Women have the worst. If you talk to a good majority of women and you say, describe yourself, if you were a blind man and they got done describing themselves, they would be a fucking troll. When you can look at a woman and you would see a beautiful woman, she describes herself to you and she's a troll if you couldn't see what she looked like. Right. So I think self-esteem really knocks down the sex drive.
Yeah, I always say that if you dress good or if you feel if you feel as though that you look good, then you automatically feel good.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
When you buy that new outfit, when you buy those new shoes or get your hair did, you know, whether guy or girl, it don't matter. You know, you get a haircut or she gets her hair colored or shortened or lengthened or whatever, you know, something you can pull on either way. I think that in like it amplifies your self-esteem, and so you feel good. You feel good about yourself. So what do you think is a good way to get it back then?
Patience. You got to be patient with your partner. If she's not feeling it, don't push it, because if you do, that's one good way to get that bitch locked tight. It's like a clam. It ain't fucking opening after that. So you better be patient. Reassurance that they are exactly what you want. That's why you're there. And I'll take a whole lot of alcohol for $500, Alex.
Bing, bing, bing. We have a winner.
So alcohol definitely increases libido. Barbie, you just hit on that. So give the guys out there the key item. You know, does alcohol really help?
I mean, it does for me. Like if I'm stressed out or something, you know, get a couple drinks in me and I'm like, we're having a dance party, taking it to the bedroom, Everybody get naked. I don't give a fuck where I'm at.
Oh hell yeah!
You know what I mean? Like it's just, that's how it is. It's just it works for me. So I don't. Maybe not everybody, but James is like, yeah, let's you go ahead and go have fun with your girlfriends and get liquored up, and I'll see you when you get home. You know? You're right.
What about you, Sarah? I mean, do you think alcohol is another good way to increase the sex drive or the libido?
No, I think that's hugely unhealthy to use alcohol to increase your libido. But
you could use
but
weed.
it works though. But it works.
But it works. Like the question is, you asked Barbie, does it work? Well, fuck yeah, it works. Like, you know, Jesus, the shit I'll do when I'm drunk, you know. But that's not the smart way to go about it. You know? If you really do have a libido problem, you need to go like talk to your doctor and check it out and like scope out what's going on. You know.
Awesome. I think that's really good. Now, if you don't have any kind of healthcare insurance and you're concerned about your libido, I think another great technique to get your sex drive back, whether it be guy or girl, and everybody dreads to hear this, but exercise and diet. What you eat, what you put into your body is what your body's going to give back to you. It's just...
Oh, shit.
It's completely
God,
true.
I'm going to go eat a
I'm
bunch
fucked.
of dicks right now.
Holy shit.
What? What?
I'm going to eat a bunch of dicks so it comes back to me.
Then wouldn't you have a dick?
No. I'm going to eat the dicks
Uh-huh.
so they all come back to me so I get dicks aplenty.
Dicks aplenty.
Dicks aplenty. That should be a book or a movie.
Dicks. That
That's-
should be my freaking stripper name, Dick So Plenty.
Make a cereal out of that colored dickaroos.
Would it be chocolate or frosted?
Well, you can make the chocolatey ones just a little bit bigger.
Oh God! How did I know you were gonna go there?
I ate 3 of them and I was
It's
full.
ridiculous.
I was the milk. I had vitamin D.
shit.
Yay for me. So diet and exercise. I really do think that the healthier people eat. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have an Oreo cookie or a Twinkie or some Cheetos or whatever you like. I'm not saying that, but just know the cleaner that you eat, meaning the more leaner meats, the more leafy greens that you have, your body is able to make blood flow a little bit better. Okay.
Also, a
go ahead.
useless fact on that is, did you know that you burn 65 calories just making out? So how many calories you gonna burn on a little get down? You know what I'm saying?
It's
Yeah.
actually it's not very
Anybody
many.
want to work out besides Dean?
No.
Yes,
Yeah. Barbie, yes. Yes,
I
I
got
do.
you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to tighten, tone, firm, and everything else because I also want to give my partner something good to look at. So, I mean,
I just want skinny and hung. I don't care about anything else.
skinny and hung.
Well, hey, how are you doing?
It's not true, Hillbilly. It's not true.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck off. Hey, just remember, it may not be long, but that motherfucker's fat.
Around.
We're not doing this right now, guys.
They call him Stubby.
No, they don't.
They do not call me stubby.
They call him the Nub.
I never heard that not one time.
He's making this shit up.
Instead of 2 can Sam, it's 1 can Bill.
Hold on. No.
Oh,
Go
that's
away.
fucking horrible. Go away.
Dickhead.
Fucking get lost on your own podcast.
Let's get lost on your own podcast. And
Now
if you
they,
don't like them,
now they do call me fatty.
oh,
No.
She said no.
that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Chubbs.
Oh fuck!
Chubbs.
Why are fluffy wieners so funny?
I don't know, but back to the sex drive.
Oh yeah.
With
Libido.
Yeah. Squirrel.
with Hillbilly, aka Chubbs, as he walks in the room with the chubby.
Chubbs you.
Uh,
Motherfucker.
you, Hillbilly, you talked about patience, and you said things are going to take time to come back, whether it be your self-esteem or if you do have a health issue. What can they do if they don't have any patience? What can they do?
They better learn some, because like I said, if you try to push the issue, say it's a mental thing, say it's a self-esteem or a medical, all those things take time to fix. The problem, more than likely, unless it's an acute medical situation, the problem happened over time, and it's going to take time to heal that problem, whether it be something that you did to screw up and make them feel that way, or something they did to make themselves feel that way. When I mean patience, I mean you can't just walk in the bedroom and be like, look, you're going to give it to me, or I'm going to go get it somewhere else, and expect them to produce. Right. That's just not right. It's not fair.
So it's like telling your husband or wife that if there's going to be there's at about 2:30, there's going to be some fucking going on, and if you want any, if you want any, you want to be a part of this, you better get your ass over here.
Right. And name me one situation where that fucking worked without you wearing your teeth around your neck.
Well, besides orgies and stuff like that, but yeah.
Well, and I'm speaking on the other side of the fence here. I'm not one that's ever lost my sex drive. So I'm trying to describe this as being somebody who is dealing with your partner that has lost their sex drive, what you can do. And the best thing you can do is be patient, be supportive, reassuring them that, my
and
thing is
real talk here. Let's make sure they're not getting it somewhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
We're real talking here. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
If your partner is like straight up zero interest in you sexually and zero desire and zero, they're not even talking to you about it. They're not even, that's like a red flag, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Right. So I think that's another thing. I mean, that's another thing. We're just talking one side of it. Like if you're this loving spouse and your wife has this problem, but to like make it appeal to everyone, I mean, that's just like real talk that happens, like.
Oh yeah. If you find out she's being a whore, I mean, find a big hole.
The other thing is, like something else we didn't mention that I'm surprised you didn't mention, buddy boy, is that masturbating, like to help your libido. If you don't know yourself and know what feels good and know what turns you on, it's hard to like get into it with someone else and like really get turned on. And you know what I mean? Like you kind of have to like take care of that yourself and create a sex happy happening place for yourself to begin with. You got to feel sexy. You got to like put yourself first and do what makes you feel sexy and get you in the mood, See,
and I'm single. I figured that kind of went without saying.
I mean, everyone masturbates, though. I mean,
Absolutely.
Not just single people. Like married people as fuck masturbate. So
we got Becky on here, and hey, Becky, thanks for joining us. Make sure you share with a friend. Becky says, our sex drive was up and up as we were trying to conceive. Now that I'm pregnant, I'm so damn tired and feel him stabbing me with his wanker in my thigh. But I can't get there most days lately.
And that happens a lot.
Yes.
The wanker in the thigh, man. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, hello,
hello.
I know you're pregnant,
it's me.
Yes, congratulations, Bex. And she's got a hell of a sex drive, let me tell you, because I hear about it all the damn time.
Oh, Lord.
And with pregnant women, the hormones are kind of just completely out there.
There we go. Exactly. It's another
It's-
reason.
And that's okay, and that kind of relates back to Hillbilly's patience. Just give it time.
Word.
Those hormones will be imbalanced again. J.O.'s birthday today. Everybody say happy birthday to J.O.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Joe.
birthday.
Big shout out to that guy. Super fan he is. That's awesome. So that is, I think, in a nutshell, Barbie, what would you say? What would you give some advice on how to try to get it back? If it is due to health, what would your advice be to try to help somebody get the sex drive back?
Again, like I said, you've got to do what you've got to do health wise. At that point, it's a hard thing to go through, and it's a scary thing to go through, because once you've gotten to a certain point, you're so used to this feeling or this disease that you have that you don't know if it can be good, or you don't know if it's, so it's also a fear plays a part in that as well. But I'm also the type of person, though, like, I know Bill was like, you got to be patient, this and that, you can't, and I feel that, but like when I was going through that, I was like, I felt some type of way about me withholding, and I was like, why don't we agree that, you can go and get it elsewhere, as long as we agree upon, what's happening until I get through my medical stuff.
I love you, Barbie. I love you.
That is a unique ass woman right there.
It just depends on the relationship.
Way.
You know what I mean? Like, if I am having
Yes.
issues health wise and I can't give you what you need, baby, go get it, please. Because, I would hope you would do the same for me. You know what I mean? So
Right.
there's
And
a lot
that's
of different
like
ways to get through something like that.
Sorry to interrupt you. Like,
No,
I
you're
love
fine.
that. That's totally, that works for some people, like if you're open to it and you can have that open conversation about, like, it's not behind your back and it and you guys can handle that, and you're like, that's rad to me, Good for you guys.
Or just call Chubbs.
I'm blown away. I'm
Nah.
fucking blown away right now. I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying, though. Like, you want to be patient and be there for somebody, and that's what he did with me, and does sometimes still when my health issues come up. But at the same time, I'm like, he doesn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, there's other ways to go around it, and I also don't think it's fair for somebody to have, like, we got married and we fucked like rabbits nonstop all the time before we got married, after we got married, and then I got diagnosed with this disease. That's not fair for him to spend the rest of his life with somebody that has health issues that causes him not to be able to get his dick wet. Like, fuck that. I'm sorry. I'm
No, I
doing a little dirty, but
yes.
No, you're fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm all for it. As long as the relationship is kosher with it, then, hey, got to do what you got to do.
It's really surprising that you'd be surprised how many couples are like that, behind closed doors, how it really is, or like, and just even how open it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
do you not?
yeah.
Well,
No,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm gonna be one to disagree with a little bit of that, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. A lot of people agree with my side of the story, and as a matter of fact, that concludes the libido talk. So our next topic is that we're going to be talking about right after we come back from our sponsors. We're also going to be talking about open relationships. Are they an excuse to go get laid, or are they just a mutual agreement between two people that they can see other people? So we'll be right back after these sponsors, and we'll talk about it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Dino Mack, and you're listening to the Mac Attack Show. You're able to hear this podcast for free because of our sponsors. One of our sponsors is DAP Photography. The photos you want, the memories you won't forget. Also sponsored by Funwear Studios. Find them on Facebook, follow their link, and get yourself a personalized clothing item. You can also get the Mac Attack Show's t-shirts and Dino Sports Bar t-shirts there.
Are you tired of having a get-together and somebody showing up with a boombox? Are you wanting to add an element to your event that will make it epic? Are you tired of paying for overpriced DJs that only deliver music and not a night of memories that will be talked about for years? Then call D Music Company and let us show you how to have a real party. Dances, weddings, reunions, or maybe you're just lonely and want to party by yourself. If there's a crowd, we'll get them to boogie down. So call today to book your next event that you will never forget. 574-952-4169. That's 574-952-4169. Mention the Mac Attack Show and receive $25 off. Don't settle for a champ. Call a master.
Hey, it's that guy Ty from the Mac Attack Show. I don't mean to bug you, but if you live in the Indy area and are having pest issues, call Bugs Be Gone. They can take care of anything from ants and bed bugs to roaches and termites. Give them a call at 317-945-2965. Tell them the Mac Attack Show sent you and get 20% off your services. They have been taking care of Indy customers for over 15 years, trusting them to take care of your pest needs. Again, call Bugs Be Gone at 317-945-2965 and tell them the Mac Attack Show sent you.
Yeah, it's whatever. I just want to make sure the listeners can hear us really good, and if we have any, vehicle noises and stuff like that, it kind of, people are like, Jesus, shut it off.
Oh, I know. But is it going to be hard to fade me out in 15 minutes? I don't want to disrupt the show. My son's getting in here. I can't talk about wieners anymore.
All you got to do is just touch your screen and on your phone or whatever you're using, and just hit. There's a little microphone right there when you touch it, and if you click on it, it mutes it. You see the little microphone?
Right, but what? Yeah.
And then all you do is touch it, and it just mutes everything on your phone. We can't hear nothing. We can't hear nothing you do or say or go or whatever.
Okay.
So give it a shot. We're live on Sex Talk Sunday. Let's mute your mic. Let's go. Ready, go. Try it out. All right. See, now we can't hear nothing that you say. All right, unmute your mic. There you boom. Boom shakalaka. Love it. So we're back, guys. Thanks for hearing our sponsors, and check our sponsors out, please. They keep this podcast on here for you to listen to for free, kind of. I was just wanting to know. Barbie got into a little bit about open marriages, open relationships, getting it elsewhere. Continue, Barbie. Continue. Get into a little bit more. Oh, she left. I don't know why she left. Why'd she do that?
Because she's like, fuck that. I ain't talking about that shit on there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Harry Chubbs, you're next. I want to hear about it.
Fuck you. You call me that shit, I ain't fucking saying nothing. That is not my goddamn name. Motherfucker.
Just kicked her out. We're gonna try to add her back here, but Hillbilly, what is your opinion about what's your opinion about open relationships, open marriages?
Well, I think that's personally, I think that's dangerous waters. But again, like Barbie said, if both people are in agreement with it, then, hey, to each their own. Me personally, I think there's too much jealousy that could come up. I think that's something that could cause a lot of problems later on in the relationship. Like, it may be cool now and fun to do, but later on, again, it's all about communication. You got to keep that open line of communication with each other. If you don't, then things go to shit. And I mean, is it something that I would do? To be honest with you, I don't know. it's I don't share very well, so for me personally, it probably would be a no-go. But
Okay.
that's just personal feel on it.
Well, Barbie's back with us now, and Barbie, you said there had to be some understanding. There's had to be some rules with open marriages and relationships. What are we talking about? Rules, like what needs to be established first and foremost?
Well, trust,
Ooh.
for sure. Because if you're, I don't know, I see people in relationships all the time, and I'm just like, and I see little silly things like, oh, you've got a password on your phone. Everybody has a password on their phone now. Like, who cares? Oh, something's going on. If you don't trust each other, why are you together? Like, I don't understand that. But to each their own. Other people have different ways of, living their lives. So, but I think it's got to be definitely, as far as rules are concerned, it's got to be something that you guys have come up with together. I've seen so many different, especially here recently, living in the city. I grew up in small towns, but I'm seeing so many different kinds of open relationships or things like that. Like my husband and I have had girlfriends before. There's never been other guys involved. That was a mutual agreement between us. There were certain things that were off limits, like, it was mostly like oral and things like that and girl on girl. So it really depends on what each person in the relationship is okay with. I've seen people that have complete separate relationships outside of their daily relationship with their spouse that they plan on spending the rest of their life with, and it worked for them. So, I mean, it depends on the couple.
Okay.
See, and I think it's easier in the city to do that kind of stuff than it would be like the small town that we live in, where everybody fucking knows everybody. And if you fart sideways, it only takes about 3 hours for the whole fucking town to know.
Yeah.
So it might be demographics too.
No, I disagree with that. I think it's about if you're not like, if you can't come up with like not going to the same bars as everyone else, if you can't do it in a smart, respectable way, then maybe you can't handle it anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you grew up around here. You know how the people are around here. Nobody does that.
No, but that doesn't mean I have to hang out with people from the same. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like you keep it separate. You don't have to like do someone just because you know who they are and went to high school with them. You know what I mean?
I wasn't necessarily saying that. I'm just saying that in the demographic that we live in, there's not a lot you can do that everybody doesn't eventually find out about within days. Whereas in the city, nobody gives a shit. You see what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I only think that's half true. I think that depends on how you go about it and who you talk to and everything,
I can't wrap my head around the open relationships, open marriages. I just can't, because they're always, to fall into what Barbie and Bill both said, they always fall into, there's jealousy and there's trust. Trust, jealousy. And communication, what Sarah preaches a lot, which is really good. But when we come up with all these rules for open relationship, I'm an extremist. I have extremist views. So when you say open marriage or open relationship, to me that's saying all rules are off the table. It's whatever. What the only thing that matters is at the end of the day that when you go home, you're looking across the coffee table or you're looking across, the kitchen table or whatever. Sarah, we can hear your car. When you're looking across those areas there and you see the other person, that's who you came home to today. I don't think there should be any rules. I mean, if you're in an open relationship and you decided that you guys are gonna go ahead and see other people, we can still hear the car, Sarah. If you can,
I took you off speaker, yo. I'm
no,
going
you
down the highway.
You got to mute your mic. There we go. Now I can't hear nothing.
My bad.
So like if that's what you're gonna do, then all rules are off. Oral's in. Guys are in. Girls are in. As many guys as you want. You know? I mean, let's try to trust. Let's trust that we don't fall in love with the other people that we're involved with. Let's trust that we're gonna have safe sex, whether it be condoms and just, protection in general, knowing the person is free of STIs and STDs. Let's make sure. Jealousy. Let's trust that no one's going to get jealous. Let's just trust. But as far as open goes, to me, it's just saying that I don't feel as though that I'm getting something from you that I believe that I should be getting something from you. So I care about you and I love you, but I think it's going to be okay is if I get this lust, if you will, or just sex over here. And this is a very, I don't think it is any good. It's not a good thing mentally. And I don't think it's a healthy mental state to go ahead and say, I'm going to go get what I can't get from you from these number of people or just person. I just don't think that's really good because we fall into the category.
I have to cut in here to tell you that I completely disagree with you. I would argue that it's completely healthy to have that type of communication, that type of upfront, like, hey, because here's the deal, right? Just because you don't have an open relationship doesn't mean that girl or that guy isn't getting it behind your back or going a different avenue. And people that choose open relationships generally just choose because they just can be open about, hey, I don't want to lie to you because I love you. I don't want to hurt you because I love you. And like, this is how it is. If I'm okay with it and you're okay with it, then it's okay. I don't think you can judge someone for having an open relationship or judge that or say it's wrong for them. I don't think you could say that open relationship is wrong for someone. I think you'd have to be, it's up to every relationship, because just as many, you have to have trust and you have to do that and deal with infidelity all the time in a in just a straight committed relationship. Do you get what I'm saying? So
this is so weird. I'm going to cut in there. This is so weird because normally this kind of conversation is switched. Normally it's the guy going, hey, I think we should add somebody in. And normally it's the girl going, fuck no. And this has been completely fucking flip-flopped. And it's freaking me out a little bit.
2020, baby.
I mean, Dean, I understand what you're saying. Like for you, and I understand the open relationship to somebody. And I wouldn't say that my marriage is open at all.
Right.
But I like women. I can't get a vagina from my husband. You're right. Sometimes there is something that I want that he doesn't have. So that is true. And so I'm like, hey, what do you think about? And that's why we came up with the rules, was so that we didn't cross any boundaries. We didn't have to worry about the jealousy. If somebody was getting too attached, that person was gone,
They're out.
Yeah, we bring somebody new in, because we have had girls that are like blowing us up, and not really us getting attached, but them getting attached. And it's like, okay, it's time to get somebody new. And that sounds horrible. Like we just use people and like are like, okay, well, we're done with you now. But that's not how it is.
I freaking love it.
It's more like, this is what we need for our relationship, and we don't do it all the time. And it's not something that, it's just, but we make sure that if we want to, because of my sexual preferences, he does that for me. And I'm sure it's a plus for him too,
I'm kind of with Jo on here. Jo's on the chat board. He says open relationships. He thinks they're gross. Now I don't think that they're gross, but he says it's not really a relationship when you're going outside the relationship to get sex. Why even be with that person? He's actually got a good point, and I'm not trying to tell people that. I'm really not trying to tell people that, you know what, you're a bad person if you're in an open relationship. Okay. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, in my opinion, I just don't think that it's a healthy mental state to be in. There's just so many different, as Hillbilly said, so many different more obstacles that can arise, and I just don't want to go around those obstacles. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to come to that. But you know, as far as my wife is concerned, I'd be gut wrenched of the thought of her being with with another guy. Now, even if she was with another woman, I would be gut wrenched because it's all like I drove you to a woman.
I didn't even the cameraman.
I mean, that you sick fuck. You sick. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'd be okay even with the woman, because some guys, that's their biggest fantasy. I love to watch, walk in on my girlfriend or my wife doing another chick. That'd be awesome. Then maybe they'd let me join in, and it's all like, no, because somewhere in there, a guy's going to get the feeling, especially if you're not a looker, you're going to feel as though that you just drove that person to the same sex, and that's not a really good feeling. That'd be like if you walked in and your husband or boyfriend was doing another guy. A woman is going to be like, I just drove my man into the arms of another man. That's a horrible feeling.
Well, that's where, like Barbie's saying, the communication comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You establish this
definitely.
kind of things way before it happens. I'm on the fence with it. I mean, I think it's dangerous territory to play around in.
Mm-hmm.
It
but,
definitely can be.
Again, I can see where people, they've been together for a while. They want to spice things up. That definitely spices things up. But, I think it's relationship to relationship, depending on what both of you want out of the relationship, what you're willing to sacrifice or willing to do to keep that relationship. It's a very dangerous game to play. And if something fucks up, you could destroy a relationship you might have been in for many, many years. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like playing with fireworks. It's fun and spectacular for a while, but there's always that possibility of blowing your dick off, with a firecracker. So,
yeah,
like I said, I'm 50-50 on the fence with it.
Yeah, I would say, I would say that I do agree with Barbie. It's going to take some trust. It's going to take a lot of communication, and I mean, there needs to be ground rules in the sense of which. I don't believe in the ground rules because it's open. If you're going to make any kind of ground rules, just know anybody gets attached, they out. They are out. If you're going to go into this, I think it's a really good idea to know that it is just strictly pleasure. It's just strictly sex, and that is it. There's no meaning behind it. You are not friends. We're not going to come over and do it all together, all of us get in a foursome, and then all of a sudden at the end of it, one of us says, "What a lovely tea party." No, that shit ain't gonna happen.
Well, swingers do that.
Yeah, now that's a totally different situation because mine is different, but there are people that are in open relationships that have relationships, and that works for them, and that's
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it truly does.
Mormons.
oh my god,
they have a different relationship.
Well, that's a whole nother segment.
Amish.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
And I can
different.
say that because they're not listening to this. Otherwise, they'll be damned to hell. So, you know.
And then there's always that second Bible. I've never seen a second Bible. I don't know. So I'm a spill your beans. Says I want someone on the side who will tickle my belly button. Okay.
Hey,
All right.
I
All
like
right.
tickling belly buttons. I will totally do that for you.
Barbie's
Oh,
the
my
mistress
God.
is offering services.
We are learning so much about you today, Barbie.
That's what we're here for.
Jo says they need a therapist, not a relationship. That's a little bit extreme because, as Barbie says, it does actually work for other people. It really does. It actually does work for other people. So if that is what you're down for, just know that Dino Mac says, I'm an extremist, man. No rules, no regulations, balls to the wall. You know, in a sense, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, there shouldn't be any care in the world. You just know that when
It'd
you
be
go
more
home,
like balls to the butt.
Balls
Oh.
to the chair.
Balls to the butt.
either way, that's
I'm
my
sorry.
take on it. That's my take on it.
Yeah, but everybody's going to have their opinion. My thing is, and my husband and I just had this conversation. We were talking about some other stuff that's going on in the world. And I was like, I mean, I don't really care, but I like to be like, well, can you see it from this angle? Because you're obviously off to the right here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see to the left at all? Like, and you don't have to agree with it, but can you see it? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's all. I'm open-minded to pretty much anything. So we don't have to agree on it, but I'm going to see your side. I'm going to listen to it at least.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like if you draw a 6 on the floor and then have somebody stand on the opposite of you. They look
Yep.
down, I see a 6, they see a 9.
Mhm.
You're both right. You're just looking at it from different views.
Mhm.
Right. And it seems like both of you are in a different. You need to be in a different position. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
I just wanted to talk about those two topics. Now, we're not necessarily going to do this every Sunday, but we probably will do it every other Sunday. I want fans to reflect. I want them to inbox their opinions and their views on the subjects that we talked about. If you're just now listening to this and it's not Sunday, maybe it's a Wednesday, and you decided to take a listen to it, sign in with your Facebook or your Twitter account, jump on the chat boards, and put your opinion out there. We'll read them because I want to see what other people's got, other questions. Also, if you guys got questions that you're afraid to ask or if you're afraid to talk about, make sure that you jump on the show or you inbox us on the Mac Attack Show's Facebook page and ask us questions, sexual questions, whether it be about toys or clothing or relationships, what you'd like to hear. Or maybe you got something to say that you just you know what, your show sucks. Then I'm just going to be like, well, fuck you.
Meditate over it.
Meditate.
Masturbate over it.
Yeah, I want to see
Meditate and masturbate over it.
I want these two topics, and I'll let you know if we're going to do it next Sunday right away or not, or if we're going to do it the Sunday after. But don't worry, Sex Talk Sunday is back. We'll be doing shows, and our topics are going to be getting a little bit more in depth. And I think we did really good tonight on two topics, sex drive and open relationships. I think those are two major topics that needed to be talked about that people are afraid to talk about. You have the black and the white, then you got Barbie. She's a little gray. He's in the middle. She'll see your side, but damn it, you better see my side too. I gave your side respect. Give my side a little bit of respect too. You don't have to agree with it. You just got to see it.
Also, as a side note, Dino Mac, Guy Talk will resume on this Friday.
Oh, nice. I like
Tentatively. Of course, that is if work doesn't get in the way. Obviously, it'll go to you if work gets in the way for me, but I am planning on doing Guy Talk on Friday, starting that back up again. So
good deal. And if it doesn't go to me, then we're just not doing it.
Pretty much.
I'm taking over guy talk.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
She says, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Hell no.
Me and Sarah can handle it.
They can handle
Oh
it.
my
She can handle
God.
it.
Could you see that fucking show? Jesus.
Oh,
I think
God.
y'all did good enough on Girl Talk.
Yeah, definitely. So as we close out here, we got about 5 minutes left of the show. Real quickly, last thoughts on Sex Drive. Maybe a cause, Barbie, and maybe a way to improve that cause. Go.
Like you were talking about, I think exercise and you feel better, and it also makes the sex more interesting. So,
Okay, Hillbilly. What causes it? How do you do? How could you improve it?
I'd say being in a relationship too long, you've gotten too comfortable with it. And to cure that, I'd say spice it up a little bit. Maybe talk about an open relationship. Introduce some toys, introduce some, role playing, that kind of stuff. Maybe y'all just tired. Maybe y'all just need to take a nap and then try again tomorrow. There have been times I've come home from work and I'm so fucking tired. I just want to go to bed. And that's, normally not like me, but, sometimes you just need sleep. But, yeah, spice it up.
Nice. I think when it comes to Sex Drive, just know that stress is a very big one that will cause your sex drive. Our everyday normal life is what can cause low libido in men and women, and there's not a pill out there. There's not a pill out there. Listen to me. There's no pill that is out there today that markets on men and women's desire to have sex. The desire. There's no pill out there just yet.
Well, and most of the time the pill's going to cause you to be impotent anyway, so.
Right. It's the desire, the part of the brain. We're not worried about the functionality of the genitalias. We are worried about the function of the brain, the want to. There's none out there. But relieve your stress. Take some time for yourself. As far as open relationships, Barbie, your take on it as a whole?
Everybody is different, man. And that, just make sure there's open communication and trust before you jump into something like that.
Bill, your take.
I'm still on the fence. I'd say, if it works for you, if you guys talk about it, then, you do you. But at the same time, you could potentially be playing with fire, so know the risk of if this shit goes south quickly.
My take on it is, hey, you want an open relationship? Go for it. Do your thing. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. I also believe that if you want an open relationship, just stay single. Just stay single. Fuck everyone. Everyone you can get a hold of. Just everyone.
Yeah, that don't work either.
Strangers on the street.
I'm going to tell you right now, that shit don't work either. All right?
But so we got 2 minutes left. Barbie, you since you're new, you get a new topic next time we come on the show. Well, we're going to talk about one topic that you think we should talk about. Go.
Ooh. Why you got to put me on the spot like that? I feel like that's really important. I need to think about this.
Bill's next.
That's what it does.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back to you on that, sir.
Okay.
I've got to think about it.
Okay, Hillbilly. One topic that we could talk about.
I was hoping she was going to stall for a little more time because I'm sitting here thinking myself. You know what? Let's get into some toys. Let's
Okay.
talk about toys.
All right, we're talking about toys. That'll be one topic, and Barbie, we're gonna come back to you later in the week, and you better have one for me.
I got you, boo.
Okay, you take care of me, I take care of you. So next week we're gonna be talking about toys and something else. Two topics every week, or 2 topics every time we come on Sex Talk Sunday. We're gonna let you know. Jo says role playing. We might get to that. Might dress up like Bugs Bunny. So
That's
yeah,
fucking hot.
that's fucking hot. She says.
And
So-
yes, I do need therapy.
Love fucking Bugs Bunny or Kermit the Frog. Either
See,
way.
Jo would dress up as the bunny's girlfriend. What was her name?
Ooh, what was her name? Come on, people.
God, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Jessica.
No, that's Jessica Rabbit.
That's what I'm
She
saying.
was-
The rabbit.
No, that's my. Oh, yeah.
He would dress up as the rabbit, Jessica, the rabbit's girlfriend.
Really? Maybe
I think
he would.
Jo would. I think he would.
Maybe he
He's
would.
into
Maybe he
that
wouldn't.
cross-dressing shit.
Guys, I'm Dino Mac. This has been Hillbilly Sexual.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out the links I put in the chat room. I'm not sure if they'll show up after this syndicates, but hope you enjoyed the simulcast of Sex Talk Sunday. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and when you click the bell to select all to be notified whenever I go live or make new videos. Thanks for tuning in.